group number 5, and today we're reporting to you from Fort San Luis, Florida. Today we have a very special topic for you guys, as today we'll be discussing the pros and cons of euthanasia for cancer patients, or also known as physician-assisted suicide. This topic may be heavy, but it is very essential we discuss issues such as these to ensure that the people affected are properly represented and are given the best possible outcome for their care. Death is a topic not to take too lightly, as it is the end to all ends. With that, we can go over what it means for cancer patients. But first, it is important to note that if this is implemented, this will not be a choice given to just any cancer patient. It is advised by Ezekiel J. Emanuel in the article, What is the Great Benefit of Legalizing Euthanasia for Physical or Physical-Assisted Suicide? The cancer patient seeking this treatment must be of sound mind and have multiple physicians approve the procedure. Because according to Mary Carson and dying cancer patients' own opinions on euthanasia, an expression of anatomy, a quality of a study, some patients fear the power the medical professionals get by making their choice for them. One patient in Carson even said that, "The worry is probably there for all, or what does that staff think of me now? Now that they might think I'm very sick, and now have I wounded up on the other side of the list?" The feeling would be scary, the fear of it, rather than knowing that they will always help you and make things better. End quote. They also feel that their families may intervene with choices, some saying that they feel their families may choose a more selfish route. Some feel as though they may lose their bodily anatomy as a result of these factors. It is also important to note that this choice has been shown to let these patients feel more empowered in their own anatomy. Some have said that the choice allows them to have more control over their medical journey and enhances their freedom of choice. One patient in Carson's study said, "Anyhow, as long as your mind is clear, you must be allowed to decide for yourself whether you want to live or not. The right to your own life cannot be questioned. That's my opinion." End quote. With all things considered, it is expected that the number of individuals affected by this procedure could be 25,000 or less yearly, according to Manuel. That is roughly about 1% of people who are in dying process in a given year. The number of factors in the number of people who would qualify for this procedure and how many would actively want it as a choice if they do qualify. Emmanuel also acknowledges that knowing how many people would benefit, example, the people that would be in less pain and suffering with this procedure, it is almost impossible. He lists 5 factors that people would have to consider in order to know the exact number. Factor 1 is to calculate the number of dying people there are each year. This includes every type of dying person, including those with cancer. Factor 2 is to figure out how many of those patients recognize that they are dying and are going through the dying process, which would make them eligible for euthanasia. Factor 3 is to figure out how many in Factor 2 are competent enough to make the decision regarding euthanasia. Factor 4 is breaking down how many people of those out of the first 3 factors are enough pain to justify being euthanized. It is to be noted that Emmanuel does not acknowledge that Factor 4 is the most suggestive of its factors. The many other factors can play into how much pain someone is in and how much they perceive their own pain. Lastly, Factor 5 is figuring out who would actively seek out this treatment option if there were a choice. Emmanuel does calculate numbers for each of these factors, but they are all just rough estimates. Overall, combining said factors, he predicts that between 5,000 and 25,000 patients would desire euthanasia, given if it was an option. This calculation falls in line with his estimate presented earlier. Now that we have covered the popular thoughts and theories on euthanasia for dying cancer patients, why don't we get some of the local thoughts on the matter? I will take you to the field with the reporters who are asking some of our local civilians their opinions on physician-assisted suicide.
Okay, I'm here with Brian Juarez for the interview about euthanasia of sick, dying patients in older adulthood. All right, so the first question is, do you know about the issue revolving around euthanasia of dying cancer patients.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on the topic?
I mean, like, it's kind of like if you're suffering more than you're like actually living, you know.
All right, so do you think it should be legal or illegal?
Legal.
And why do you think it should be illegal? Or illegal, I'm sorry.
Because if it gets to a point where you're just not living life anymore, you're just like suffering more than you're actually like living and enjoying it, you know.
Okay. And would you consider this treatment option for you or a loved one if someone came to you that you knew and wanted to essentially die?
Yeah.
And do you think it's suicide in the traditional sense?
No, not really, not exactly.
So you think it's like a different category altogether?
Yeah.
All right,
Want
thank
to
you.
anchor to, and hello DEP 2004. I am reporting to you from the J building of Indian River State College. Today I'll be asking some challenging questions regarding today's topic of physical assisted suicide. Let's go. We are here today with Abelard Caesar, the academic coordinator for education talent search here located in IRSC, the campus. And I will be asking you some questions. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. My name is Abelard Caesar, academic coordinator for educational talent search located here at Indian River State College main campus.
Okay, thank you. Today we're talking cancer patients who, use it kind of as a last resort when they use everything that they can. And the questions that I'm going to ask you, they're going to require, some kind of thinking and knowledge. If you don't want to answer it, it's fine, but honestly, it just depends on you. Okay. First question we have is, what is your thoughts on the topic?
It's a very sensitive topic. It's something I guess you could say as a last resort that cancer patients who know that they won't overcome, they use. Me, on the other hand, it's super sensitive because I'm a man of faith and I don't believe in suicide or having to kill yourself. But it's like this. When it comes down to it, it's going to be based on a person. I understand that the person doesn't want to go through pain anymore, so they will utilize that resort. So I say it all depends on the person. If the person just want to go through with it, by all means, no judgment here. But if the person, some people, are just like me, where they like, man, I don't believe in doing, killing myself, or let me just go through the process and have the sickness, I guess, kill them. They just go through the process. But yeah, it's super hard to say, what I really think about it. But I just say it's up to the person. If the person decide that they want to do it, then by all means.
Okay. Do you think it should be legal or illegal?
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I think it should be illegal, just like I said before. Like, I just don't believe in killing yourself. Like, even if it is to the point where you have no other option in regards to a cancer in your body, I just say let it take its course. But some people want to end their life because they don't want to go through that pain. They don't want to go through that agony because it is, it's a lot, to go through. So, but I think it should be illegal.
Okay. Now, because you said you think it should be illegal, what do you think should happen instead of them taking that course?
To be honest, there's really nothing else you can do when you already that I guess in that stage where it's just nothing else, no other options. Just let it take its course. Do what you have to do. Love the ones who love you. And I guess just allow it to take its course. At the end of the day, it may be painful through the process, but I know, and I've experienced where I've known like loved ones pass away from cancer. It's a peaceful pass, they've all fell asleep and just didn't wake up. So I just feel just let it, I guess, take its course, and rather than just end it, because you want that time with your loved ones. You want as much time as possible with your loved ones, that they will spend those time with you, because it's just time that you can't take back. So that's how I feel about it. Just let it take its course.
Do you think that the option is suicide in the traditional sense, or do you think it's just, something completely different?
I definitely think it's something completely different. It's not like, oh, I got it, I'm gonna kill myself. It's really like they've done all that they can and they know that they won't survive. So it's like taking something that'll just ease the pain. In other words, kill them. You know, where they no longer feel that pain. So I understand why they would create something like this, but it's tough. You know, it's really tough, and I feel as if and I said this before too. Like I just feel as if when that time comes, I would say the time that you're still breathing, spend it with family before the sickness fully I guess takes its course and kills you. You know?
Now, you did mention that you have lost family
Yes.
due to cancer, and I'm so sorry for your loss and everything.
no
I know how cancer could be very, untreatable at a sense. But if your loved ones, if they were to take this option, how would you feel?
Oh man, I would be devastated. But I would understand at the same time. It's like it's a bittersweet type ordeal where I would understand at first, but yeah, at the same time, still be heartbroken because it's like, man, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing the doctors can do about it. You just got to leave it in the hands of God and just see how that plays out. But yeah, I would be devastated.
Preach. Well, thank you so much for answering our questions and participating in this.
No problem.
And, as this goes on, I hope that this topic, doesn't really, come to course because we never know what's going on, especially with cancer.
Yeah.
And, thank you for taking your time to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Okay, folks, that was Abelar Caesar, the academic coordinator of Educational Talent Search here, located on IRSC. The next person that we have is...
Okay, so hello. So today I'm going to ask you some questions on a topic that I'm researching. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the first question is, do you know about the issue revolving around euthanasia of dying cancer patients?
No, I haven't heard.
So basically it's a treatment for cancer patients who have tried every other option and nothing has worked. And the physicians come and give them a treatment, which they assist in basically suicide so they can die peacefully. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's kind of hard, but I'm not that agree because I do believe that people can just die whenever God let them die. But if they're in pain and they're okay with it, I will be okay with it. But I think it's like God chose when they're gonna die. Or I don't know. I think I'm not agree.
So you think it should be illegal?
I do believe it should be illegal, but maybe if they sign a release form that they're okay with it and all the family members are okay with it, maybe it should be okay. But in my personal thought, I think no.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was very insightful. Thank you, reporters. All in all, euthanasia or physician-assisted suicide is a topic that is quite nuanced and has a lot of factors to be considered when considering which side of leadership one should take. Not only should the patient's thoughts and feelings on this matter should be considered, but the ideas surrounding checks that go into it should be considered as well. As we covered a variety of opinions, there will be a variety of ways we can go about this as a society. As more research is conducted, we can gain better insight as to what would be the best course of action. But for now, the consensus seems that there's too much to consider with patients, legality and physician roles, and the topic more likely will not be a reality for years. That concludes our segment on euthanasia of dying cancer patients. I'm your anchor, and I wish you a very good night. Thank you.